Alrighty, thanks so much for joining us for the Veteran Alumni webinar series, and we are finishing off our series today with a Pay It Forward session. So learning some information about how to give back to campus, how to give back to your fellow students, and we have an amazing group of UCCS professionals here to kind of talk about that. So we will kind of dive in. So some WebEx etiquette first. If you could keep your microphone muted, that will really help us with feedback as we are recording this session. Also, please open the chat because there will be time for you to ask questions if you have them of your fellow UCCS professionals. And if you have any technical issues, you can chat with me, Danny Pape, and I will work through those technical issues with you. So you can specifically send a message to me and I'll help you with that. So again, what we're going to do today is tell you a little bit about how to give back to campus and specifically from kind of three different lenses: the Alumni Office lens, the Veteran and Military Affairs Office lens, and the Career Center lens. And so that's kind of going to be our roadmap. So alumni will talk about why to volunteer and really kind of how to do it. And then, which is Liz Bunkers from the Alumni Office. Then she'll pass it on to Krista Hill from the Veteran and Military Affairs Office, and she'll talk a little bit about how to give back to specifically veteran and military affiliations on campus. And then I will, from the Career Center, talk a little bit about how to engage your companies through internship or full-time employment recruitment activities, as well as some things you can do personally when students reach out to you. And then we'll open it up for Q&A from there. So to get started, I'm going to first pass it to Liz Bunkers.
Great, thanks, Danny. As Danny mentioned, my name is Liz. I am with the UCCS Alumni and Friends Office, and today I'm going to be talking to you a little bit more about our volunteer program. And we'll go to the next slide. So first, I kind of wanted to address that question of why people should volunteer and what that really looks like and what that means for you as an alum. As you know, time, like anything else, is a commodity, and we have a limited amount of it. So the donation of someone's time can really make a great impact on our students and our programs. And one of the best things about volunteering is that it doesn't require any sort of financial commitment, but it does require a time commitment. And hopefully during COVID, we can still find time to give back to our students and our programs. And in doing that, you as a volunteer can gain a lot of insight about the wonderful things our students are doing and the great people we have working on campus. But you yourself can also benefit if you are at an organization where you want to host interns, which I know Danny's going to talk about a little bit more. You can benefit just as much as the student by having them help support your work and learn more from them. We've got a great cohort of students at UCCS, and it's a great way for you to network with them and for them to get to know you as a member of the community. And as I mentioned, the financial commitment of volunteering is $0, but there is a national average dollar amount that is assigned to volunteer time, and that's $25.43. So we do really work hard to try to capture some of those hours that our volunteers are giving, because we know that even if you're not giving a financial gift, you are giving your time, which is a great gift to us as well. We'll go to the next slide. So then I also wanted to address that concern of how do I volunteer if it's a pandemic? And although volunteering looks a little bit different during COVID-19, it still makes a huge difference and a huge impact on our campus and on our students. And the best part of it is that you don't have to leave your house, and you don't have to live in Colorado even to volunteer. You can live anywhere in the world, and you can still do all of these great things virtually with our students in our campus. And one thing I've observed about myself during the pandemic is that it gets a little emotionally draining to always be, stuck at home and not being able to be around a community as much. And being able to volunteer, even if it is in a virtual capacity, can really help us kind of re-engage that sense of contributing to something larger than ourselves. So that is another bright spot about volunteering in the COVID-19 times. I did put a list of some of our virtual opportunities here on this slide, and I want to talk a little bit more about them. We do have a commencement video series where we are asking alums to just submit 30-second videos just encouragement and congratulations to our graduating seniors who are graduating in December. And we use those on social media, we use them on our website. And if you're interested in submitting a video, you can reach out to me. I'm happy to get you connected with that information. This spring, we'll have a number of scholarship review committees coming up. We get thousands of applications for scholarships every year, and we want to be able to review all of them thoroughly and thoughtfully, and we use volunteers to do that. And it's a really neat way to learn about the dreams and aspirations of our students as well. So it's definitely a win-win. This summer, we did a Write a Mountain Lion campaign, which is a letter writing campaign that was alums writing letters to our incoming freshmen, welcoming them to the university. And I anticipate we'll be doing more letter writing campaigns in the coming months. So stay tuned for more opportunities in that space. Just another great way to give back from the comfort of your home. And then mentorship, which I know Krista's going to talk a little bit more about, but mentorship, again, is one of those opportunities where mentors and mentees get just as much out of the opportunity as the other. So it's a great one. And then we'll go to our next slide. And then lastly, I wanted to share a little bit more about a formal program that we're launching out of the alumni office, which is our Alumni and Friends Volunteer Program. That image there is actually what the homepage of the website where you'll be directed to goes. And so if you visit that website, the uccs.edu/alumni/volunteer, you'll see a button on that site that says Volunteer Hub, and that will go to this site. And this site is really a place where you can kind of shop and discover all of the different opportunities that we have for volunteers at UCCS. It is a brand new program, so we are still building it out and trying to optimize and make it the best we can. And I would just encourage you to check it out and sign up and make a profile. It takes less than 5 minutes to do that. And you can add your interest of being a VMA alumni to it. There's even a VMA page about all of the great work happening over there. And as we build out this program, there will be more training videos. There'll be resources for you to, again, learn about how to best contribute as a volunteer and connect with whatever interests and passions you might have and support our students in programming. And then if we go to this last slide, Danny. And these are just a few more screen grabs from that site. Again, there's full descriptions about the skills and the types of opportunities that we have and the types of volunteers that we are looking for each one. And again, we have the whole VMA page devoted to our veteran and military affiliated alums. So I would encourage you to check it out. And now I'm going to turn over to Krista.
All right, thank you, Liz. So that page is not quite updated with our volunteer opportunities yet, but I'll give you a little bit of what we have for you. So how do you give back? You can go to the next slide, Danny. So Boots to Suits is our mentoring program, and this program is really popular on campus. So it's open to seniors and graduate students, and they apply for the program, and then what we try to do is match them up with a mentor in the community that's in the career field that they're interested in, or just doing something in the community that they have an interest, that the student has an interest in. The mentor and the mentee then meet 5 times over the semester, and that can be done virtually. And then the mentee also meets with the Career Center. And with that meeting, they go over their resume, LinkedIn accounts, maybe do a elevator speech, but just a one-on-one meeting with the Career Center. And once that's all complete, we have a big celebration breakfast. Eventually we will, where we invite the mentors and the mentees and thank the mentors for participating and celebrate the accomplishments of the mentees. And then each mentee receives a $500 gift card from, there's a few different stores in town that we give the gift cards from, so that they can get professional attire. So even though it says Boots to Suits, they don't necessarily have to go buy a suit. I think that's how it initially started, but if you're a teacher, maybe you don't want to go buy a suit. If you are a physician, maybe you don't need to buy a suit. So that's probably the biggest draw, I think, is that $500 gift card, of course, but the mentors and the mentees get so much out of it. It's rewarding for both. And if you're interested in that Boots to Suits program, you can email milprogs, MILPROGS, at uccs.edu, and we will send you a link to get signed up. Okay, Danny. Employer Talks is something actually that is new and on the radar for us. So we'd like to start this in spring 2021 and virtually, of course. And these will be networking opportunities for student veterans. So we will invite employers in the community to meet with our student veterans and talk with them about opportunities that they have available, talk to them about what it takes to be employed by that company. And we'd like to try to do this at least once a semester, but I got to develop the interest for that and develop a schedule for that, but it's definitely something that we're excited to offer. So if you are part of an organization that hires veterans or that would like to talk to student veterans, this would be a great opportunity for you to meet with them. Brown Bag Series is also something new that we'll be adding next year, and this will be offered more often, hopefully, than once a semester, maybe monthly, where we'll have a different topic each month that can be presented to interested student veterans. And again, we can do this virtually until we don't have to any longer, but maybe you have some great knowledge that you can help pass on to a student veteran. For example, some of the examples I have listed there: how to buy a home using a VA loan, resume writing, getting involved in government, how to effectively brand yourself. So what your knowledge is can be passed on to these student veterans, and that's also a great way to give back. Military Advisory Council, this is a dream of mine that I hope people find interesting and want to help make it a reality. So this does not exist yet, but what I'm looking for is community members that are interested in the student veterans and what they need, and helping us to kind of figure out what the challenges and opportunities are for them, not only on campus, but in the community. I imagine this to be a group of people that includes leadership from the campus, leadership from the community, and even leadership from our student veterans. We have a student veteran right now that serves as our Senator for Veteran and Military Affairs in student government. So I imagine that that person would be involved in this as well. And if you don't have time, but you do want to donate money, we will always accept that. Of course, like I said, we have a $500 gift card for each mentee that completes Boots to Suits. And you can see the link there if you're interested in giving towards that program. And so if you're interested in any of these ideas, feel free to email us at milprogs@uccs.edu, and we'll definitely reach back out to you and get you on our radar for either an employer talk, a brown bag series, Boots to Suits application, or if you're interested in this Military Advisory Council idea. Thanks, and I'll pass it back to Danny.
Thanks, Krista, and thanks, Liz. So you all just heard from two of my amazing colleagues who shared their ways of engaging, and now I'll kind of share ways to potentially engage in the career space, which is always relevant to what's going on in the world. So a couple of things that are ways you can give back is the company that you work for. Do they recruit on campus? Do they recruit for internships? Are they thinking about starting an internship program? Do you have full-time entry-level and experienced jobs that you want to hire for? So I'll tell you a little bit about that. We also run a really cool initiative called CLYDE'S Closet, which would be ways to get professional clothing to students that need it. And then shadowing. Students are always looking for ways to shadow and gain experience through learning, by seeing what people do in their daily work and daily lives. So I'll kind of go through each one. So first, I have this concept called the Mountain Lions hiring Mountain Lions. So, give back by offering opportunity to students. So again, does your company offer an internship program? Do they hire full-time entry-level and experienced roles? We would love to talk to you. We have awesome ways to engage your organizations. And I know you may not be the recruiter or work in the HR office, but you can probably connect us to the right people that are recruiting and making sure we're getting those opportunities out to students. And we do that through a platform called Handshake. which is a one-stop shop for students and employers. So it's a way for employers to post their job and internship opportunities specifically to UCCS students and alumni. It's completely free to do that, and it's completely free for students and alumni to use. So it is really kind of our big push and our big way of getting opportunities out. When I checked this morning, there was over 3,000 current postings to our UCCS students. So it really is used by organizations across the world and here locally and regionally in Colorado. We also post career events here. So virtual career fairs, which have become very popular, employer info sessions, and a variety of other workshops. So if those are of interest from kind of the company perspective, we would love to talk to you. So I will have my contact information at the very end here, as well as with Liz and Krista's. So don't hesitate to reach out to us on that. CLYDE'S Closet, which I just talked a little bit about. This is an opportunity for students to come take free clothing, no cost. They don't have to return it, and it's theirs to keep forever. And so this initiative is really important to us at UCCS, and we want to continue to grow it. So a way you could potentially help us is by donating professional clothing that you have. We've actually seen a large increase in donations because I think people had time on they had some time to go through their wardrobes during the pandemic. So if you have done that or want to do that, we are definitely taking donations, and they can be dropped off at the Career Center. And we are still open right now, so that is something you can do right now. Also, we've had some companies say, well, I want to do a company drive. I want to get other people involved in my organization. So we can definitely help manage that and talk about how you could do that. What's the best way to market it out to your company? We would help provide some of that marketing and see what you can get from your organization. It's a really cool way to give back as well. Lastly, more personally, you might have students reach out to you to do shadowing or informational interviews. And this really helps students get a really good understanding of what it means to work in a certain field or a certain area. And I know the typical shadowing experience would have been in person, but we have actually seen some students do virtual shadowing. So kind of going through the day of a life in a certain role and doing that virtually, listening in on certain meetings that they can listen in on. If it's customer service roles or sales roles, seeing what some of that kind of client relationship building looks like, and that really helps a student. A little less structured or informational interviews, that's where students can just reach out to you and say, hey, can I have 20 minutes to kind of ask you some questions about your profession and your career? And that's a really cool way for students to get a good understanding of what it means to work in a certain field. You might get reached out to from students via LinkedIn. That's where we help students really see how they can build their network and find UCCS alum that are doing things that are similar to what they want to do. So if you get those messages, we'd love for you to respond to them. Even if you don't have time, at least respond to them and tell them that you're there for them and just support them through that process. So that's just one thing, one area that we help students kind of build their professional network. So that's kind of the career perspective and kind of the overall perspective on giving, paying it back, paying it forward to your UCCS students. If you have any questions, please put those in the chat or unmute yourself and you can ask that to Krista, Liz, or I. You'll see our contact information there on the screen. Do not hesitate to reach out to us. And if you don't know who the right person to reach out to is, don't worry, we'll get it to the right person. So that's something that's really important for us in our space. So I'll kind of see if we've got anything in the chat or if we've got anyone that wants to ask a question. We've got a question in the chat. Does a volunteer need to work with the program or college that they have a degree from? Liz, that might be a good one for you.
Yeah, that's a great question. And thanks for asking that. And the answer is no, definitely not. If there's an area that you work in professionally that you didn't study, or there's just an area that you're interested or passionate about, we welcome volunteers to be a part of any program. And we also welcome friends of the university. You don't necessarily have to be an alum to volunteer. If you want to give back and get involved, we welcome everyone. So please share this with your friends and family as well. Good question.
I'll give it a sec to see if we've got anything else coming in the chat. All right, awesome. Well, thanks so much for spending 30 minutes with us on a Wednesday afternoon. I know that you could have been doing something else, so we appreciate the time and energy. And if you were to have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out to us. Thanks so much. We'll stay on just for a few minutes in case anyone wants to ask questions after the webinar. Thanks.